the topic for today, so that's interesting. And so the topic today is about grooming. And you were saying that, earlier, and I think this is absolutely a great, unfortunately, description of grooming, is that it seeps in to the point that you don't even realize it. You're desensitized from it. It's just these little tiny things that happen, and before you know it.
That's right. There's this slow buildup of, for me, it started out with at 10, there were sexual jokes that I didn't get and laughter at my expense, that kind of thing. And then there was a notable time where for my first horse show, I was late for a class and he offered to braid my hair because I wasn't quite ready. So he was braiding my hair with his hands full of tobacco juice that he'd spit on them. And there was sort of this flirtation about it. But as a kid, and this is the difficulty, right? As kids, we have no context or contextual way to contextualize what's happening. And kids naturally want attention. They want to be seen, right? They want approval.
Right.
And that ends up being weaponized by abusers. So there was that, and then it continued on. And for me, mostly it was of the non-touch variety, although there were forced kisses and grabs, but the non-touch variety was more of the propositions, threats to take a horse away from me if I didn't sleep with him, this kind of thing. And some of the girls, unfortunately, around me had it much worse. But I think we have to be careful because, the sexual abuse now really isn't about the sexual act. It's not about sex at all. It's all about power and the power differentials and the way that we're hurt and betrayed by that. And so it's part of what took me a long time to line up with being sexually abused, because it wasn't even defined in the culture or in the DSM or anything. But now it's much more like even a suggestion of sexual activity when there's a power differential constitutes sexual abuse and can have the same impact.
Yeah, that's right. Because when were the different types of sexual abuse added to the what is it called?
DSM.
Yeah, I was going to say DSM. Yeah.
Versions of that. I'm not sure this exact timing, but when I first started as a therapist in 1984, that it wasn't in the DSM, and it wasn't even they didn't even have a category for children being abused back then.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And so we think about that now, how shocking that is and how far, hopefully, we've come in the educational process, which is an important part of preventative. But we were all so blind to it and we weren't lining up. I mean, the education I got was, stranger danger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of really the bulk of abuse happens between, people that we know. And
right.
Family members or whatever.
Right. And I was told that I'm not to argue with adults. I'm always to do what they say. And that, and so that's a setup.
We get trained to be compliant. And so that just adds to our vulnerability.